Millions of people suffer from severe, recurring headaches and have no idea what's causing them. What if the cause is the world's second leading cause of disability? Yet, with this massive impact, fewer than half of sufferers are ever correctly diagnosed. It's often mistaken for a sinus headache, simple tension, or just a bad day of stress. This is not simply a headache. We'll show you what a migraine truly is and how knowledge changes everything. So, what is a migraine? First, it's not just a bad headache. It's a neurological disorder involving brain chemistry. Myth. You can just sleep it off. Fact. An attack can last from 4 to 72 hours, often longer. Myth. It's a women's problem. Fact. This belief causes men and children to be severely underdiagnosed. Myth. It's only head pain. Fact. It can bring nausea, extreme sensitivity to light and sound, and visual aura. This gap between common myths and the scientific reality is where the suffering begins. It's a disease hiding in plain sight. But why is it so misunderstood? A large part of the answer is that migraine is an invisible disease. There are no outward signs. No blood test or scan can confirm a migraine. Because others cannot see the pain, it gets dismissed. This dismissal, this stigma, has measurable consequences. Studies link it directly to increased disability and a lower quality of life. This leads to a big question. If this condition is so common, why are doctors and patients failing to connect on a diagnosis? Internally, the burden is immense. Sufferers are over 2.5 times more likely to also have depression and high anxiety. This is not only a personal health crisis, the impact radiates outward, creating a massive economic burden on society. The cost of lost productivity is staggering. In the U.S. alone, it's estimated at $78 billion a year, much of it from presenteeism. Think about that. Forcing yourself to work during a neurological attack. This presenteeism costs companies 3 to 10 times more than sick days. But the cost goes far beyond dollars. It disrupts relationships, social life, and the ability to perform daily tasks like driving. Recall the diagnosis rates from the beginning? All these costs, personal and economic, are amplified when a condition isn't even named. Even for those who suspect migraine, managing it is filled with confusing information. Simple things suddenly become complicated. Take caffeine. Is it a cause, a trigger, or a cure? The answer is all of them. This shows why generic advice so often fails. This complexity brings us back to our question, why is diagnosis so difficult? The answer is found in a communication breakdown. Diagnosis depends almost entirely on what the patient says. But how do you describe brain fog or light sensitivity to someone who has never felt it? On the other side, healthcare providers face their own hurdles. Short appointments prevent taking a full history, so many rely on experience alone. You have a patient who cannot fully explain, and a doctor who doesn't have enough time to fully listen. This is the gap. Now let's connect the pieces. We have an invisible disease, social stigma, and a communication breakdown in the doctor's office. The stigma makes patients hesitant, fearing they won't be believed. This directly feeds the communication gap, making diagnosis harder. And poor diagnosis reinforces the idea that it's not a real problem, which creates even more stigma. It's a vicious cycle. Breaking this cycle is vital. We know that early correct diagnosis can prevent the disease from becoming chronic and reduce its costs. So how do we break it? The single most powerful tool is knowledge, clear, accessible, science-based education. When patients understand their own bodies, they gain the vocabulary to speak with doctors and advocate for themselves with confidence. When families, employers, and providers are educated, stigma fades. Empathy replaces judgment, and healthcare becomes a partnership. The gap between suffering and diagnosis, which affects millions and costs billions, can be bridged by seeing migraine for what it is, Take control of your health. Seek out trustworthy, science-based resources. Share this knowledge. Awareness is the first step toward relief.